How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Now today we have a special one because it's not every day that a game comes out that completely blows expectations away. We had New World that blew everyone away with the amount of concurrent users on Steam, and it's quite exciting to see a game that everyone expected to do not so well or that came out of nowhere to actually be doing the numbers. Then we had Baldur's Gate 3, which, you know, it's been in early access for such a long time. It has a cult following, but to see its meteoric rise was astonishing. Hogwarts Legacy, we all knew that game would do well, but there we go. It's still there, and it did remarkably well. It's up there along with Cyberpunk, which for all intents and purposes was a bit misleading based on the quality, but it still didn't stop the amount of people buying the game and streaming it day one and getting those numbers up. Well, cue in Palworld, a game that not many people knew about. People kind of refer to it as Pokemon with guns, but in reality, it's more closer to a game like Ark than it is to Pokemon. Yes, you can capture the Pokemon, and, you know, it does have that similarity, but it's quite a different experience, but it's one that's doing the rounds. Now, of course, the big question has always been, especially with Larian games coming out and saying, like, you know, this game will never be on Game Pass. We just don't believe that, you know, we need to put it on there. Or, you know, people were saying that if Larian games put their game on Game Pass, it would cannibalize their sales. Though we have seen a number of games in the past that have been on the Game Pass platform, like Lies of P, Starfield, that clearly goes against this narrative. So the narrative that Game Pass would cannibalize Baldur's Gate 3, for example, you know, when we're looking at games that are actually good, that stack up and are actually worth your money, it doesn't stack up. Now, if the game actually was, you know, delivered in a poor state or delivered in a bad state with lack of content, then sure. I mean, people aren't going to buy it anyway. Just look at Anthem. It didn't even meet their, you know, lifetime sales. But at the end of the day, that is the way it's been. That narrative that Xbox Game Pass cannibalizes sales has been ongoing. Now, if you do find this video useful and want to support the channel, do consider hitting that like button. We're looking for 300 likes. We are trying to hit 6,500 subs before the end of January, so if you can help with making that happen, if you're not already subbed, do consider subbing. We do release daily videos, up to 2 daily videos with a reaction video in the evening, so hopefully you'll enjoy the content enough to support the channel. You can also support me further through my Patreon, YouTube membership, and of course the super thanks. Right, so earlier I released this actual tweet. It's been a few days now, as you can see, January 21st. People said Baldur's Gate 3 on Game Pass would have ruined its sales, or chances. Palworld proves that narrative was pretty much bogus. Love to see another myth extinguished. Now over here, I did not talk about at all Game Pass sales, how many copies were sold on Game Pass, how many people are playing on Game Pass, the Game Pass's overall impact. Nothing here has actually been said regarding the sales of Game Pass. All I've said is that Game Pass did not cannibalize the sales. And as we know, Palworld has now got on to 3-4 million. It's, you know, in terms of concurrent users, it's actually surpassed that of Elden Ring. It's surpassed Hogwarts Legacy. It's surpassed Cyberpunk. It's doing really well. It's about to leapfrog Lost Ark in 4th place if it can actually get a few more sales in on PC. Now, if you actually combine the Steam, Game Pass, and Epic Store, because it's available on Epic as well, well, it'll probably meteorically shoot straight past 3rd place and potentially even try to challenge 2nd place. But I digress. We're only looking at Steam here. But over here, I haven't said anything regarding the actual sales on Game Pass. All I've said is that Game Pass did not cannibalize the sales. And what I have said is factually true. But of course, the PC fanatics and, you know, the PlayStation ponies have decided that they are going to take it upon themselves to prove to me that they have zero reading comprehension. I'm guessing all that hay eating for the ponies and the complete master race kind of egotistical ways of PC gamers thinking has completely actually deluded their way of thinking. I mean, at this point, I don't even think they understand what they're reading, because if we go down here, well, we don't know the sales on Xbox, the majority of sales is Steam. Exactly. I didn't, and it didn't affect it at all. So they would have gotten the Game Pass money from Microsoft and Steam sales. It would have been fine. I even followed this up by saying that there are people who actually bought the game on Xbox, so they would be double dipping with Game Pass and the Xbox sales. And, you know, you've got people over here trying to catfoot saying that the Xbox version is trash. You've got Troll Gamer over here being a total loser. You've got this one over here when the better and more updated versions of Steam. Both versions are going to be identical once it's outside of early access, because there is going to be crossplay. Right now, they're trying to sort out the certification process, which Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony all have in place. So they would all experience this going forward. It's not like Helldivers is coming out soon, where it's free to play online on PC, but those PlayStation fans have to actually pay to play online. It's not like that now. And let's see how well Helldivers 2 actually does. Considering it has the same chances as Palworld, I don't think it's going to do as well. And then you're saying, to be fair, almost all of these sales are... When did I talk about anything? I mean, look how many people here that are talking about the game in regards to sell, you know, the platform-specific sales. So many people here are actually failing basic English. It's embarrassing. Look at it. No one is playing it on Game Pass, yet many of my friends do. Where is it? I mean, they have nothing else to play. Sure, buddy. And yet PlayStation begging for Xbox games on PC, and PC fans, the moment you mention make the games come off Steam, lose their mind. Both want them Xbox games. Xbox gamers eating good, once again. And then he comes back again. There is nothing on Xbox I want. You can keep them. Yet they were begging for those games all the same. You know, it's so funny how hurt these people are. They are so butthurt. And this has continued for so many. Look, nobody's playing it on Game Pass or Xbox. It's like, you know, there was another one that was telling me about the overall sales, and it's like, it's almost like when they sit down and they're like, oh, I'm about to buy this game. Oh, I'm about to buy this game. I'm about to spend $70. Oh. I mean, that is literally how I envision PlayStation fans at this point right now. You know, they turn around and laugh at people for playing a game on a subscription service for $10.99 a month, as if spending that $70 is making them any way superior. Not everyone wants to own every game they play. And if the game comes off Game Pass, guess what? The game is available to buy anyway. So you can still buy it. And people do buy it. It's ridiculously. It's just so insane at how... Look at the amount of people. It's like, what are they even talking about? Ain't Baldur's Gate free $70 though? What is he even saying? So at this point, right, I had another discussion with someone in the chat, and they said, well, Microsoft offered 5 million originally. I mean, that's potentially 5 million what they offered. And Larian has every, you know, choice to say no, which they did. But what if they then turned around to Microsoft and said, hey, we'll give it to you for 100 million, which is essentially 1.6 million units worth, or just 1.635 million units. That's the equivalent in total sales, right? And Microsoft said yes. Would that have been so bad? That's guaranteed them 1.6 plus million units sold the moment that Microsoft money goes to them. Look at Guardians of the Galaxy. They wanted 50 million. That guaranteed them 834,000 units sold instantly just by writing that check. Done. Obviously, if people subscribed, and the idea is that enough people will continue their subscription, and maybe this will bring in more people to subscribe to play that game. So Microsoft will make their money that way. But as you can see, you know, none of these people are looking at the economic benefit to both publishers, right? It's ridiculous how much hate this is getting. This is just a simple post I made to prove a point. And what I said was factually correct. But these absolute moronic idiots just do not understand simple maths. They can't even read English. I mean, look at it. Now, I get it. Some people can't actually, English isn't their first language. But surely, people said Baldur's Gate 3 on Game Pass would have ruined its sales or chances. Palworld proves this narrative was pretty much bogus. Of course, Starfield has proven that as well. Lies of P has proven that as well. Many games have proven that. So what is it that I've actually said that's talking about how many copies of the game sold on Steam or sold on Xbox? These people are so illiterate that they are just so dumb. I mean, to one person, I said his IQ is less than a rock. But then I had to respond back to them and tell them that I'm really sorry. What I said was out of turn. I didn't mean to insult the rock, because clearly that rock has a higher IQ than you, because at least it has a place in this world. It actually has a purpose. You being this dumb, this stupid, this thick, clearly do not. I mean, because there is nothing I've said here that is indicating me talking about how many copies sold on one platform compared to how many copies sold on another platform. Yet these imbeciles, these complete moronic, stupid, idiotic imbeciles do not understand or can read simple English. Now, I don't care how many copies sold on Xbox. I don't care how many copies sold on PC. The point I was making here is Game Pass did not cannibalize the sales. And now we've seen this in multiple games where this has been the case, where, you know, the copies of the games have sold quite well, exponentially well in some. What has this got anything to do with them coming at me with information that is just so completely not even related to what I'm saying? Like, how stupid are these people? I mean, I get it. They're jealous. They are butthurt. I mean, I don't even get why the PC players are getting involved. You know, it's times like these that makes me really wish Microsoft would just take those games off Steam, even if it is just a joke, just to see them melt down. I really do. But obviously, I'd still like my day one PC games because, you know, I don't have anything against PC players. But, you know, these guys, are, it's so funny. Now we know the secret. All you have to do is make the Xbox version inferior. Look at it. It's not even inferior. It's going to be on the same level. Michael Hoffman is such an idiot. He doesn't even understand how the games industry works. All he knows is how to be a Twitter warrior. These 20 posts here are literally more posts here. Show us the sales numbers on Xbox. Who's talking about sales? Who is talking about sales? Where in my post? I mean, can you understand how stupid these people are? Can you understand how dumb these people are? That they cannot even, I mean, even when they try to read basic English, they struggle to read basic English. They can't even do it. I mean, at this point, I don't know whether it's, you know, the education system that's failed them, whether it's the, you know, the local system that's failed them, or maybe, you know, when they were kids, their parents completely neglected them. I really don't know. But clearly there is a problem here with the way society has grown up. Because if this is the coming generation of what is going to kind of work in the business industry and the economic industry, this world is fucked. Literally. Because if we leave things down to these people who can't read, have no concept of maths, have no concept of economics, have nothing outside of, I'm going to read what I want to read and twist it to the point where I want to say what I want to say just to get that gotcha moment, we are doomed as a human race. Because I'll be honest with you, at this point, I would honestly say that the reason why aliens don't come to this planet to give us better technology is because of dumb shit like this. These people are so thick that when the aliens come along, they probably have a migraine and a nosebleed and a hemorrhage and then say, fuck this, I'm going away for another 100 years and coming back, because the level of stupidity in this thread is beyond the joke when they simply cannot comprehend a simple quote that I said, which wasn't even a quote, it's just a statement, that people said Baldur's Gate 3 on Game Pass would have ruined its sales, which I'm saying it wouldn't have. because people would still have bought it, just like they bought it now. Because there are people that do not like the concept of renting games, even those that are on Game Pass, right? They don't. And the reality is, Palworld, Starfield, Lies of P, I'm just using those three as an example, have clearly proven where it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't cannibalize. Now, you can have bad games that come onto the platform and they don't do well. Well, even if they wasn't on Game Pass, it still wouldn't have sold well. Do you think if Gollum or Kong was on Game Pass, it would still have sold shit on Steam? No, the games are shit, so they're not going to sell. But if a game is good, it's going to sell. It's that simple. And that is what I'm saying here. What has this got anything to do with the sales of a platform? Nothing. Nothing at all. Yet the reading comprehension of all these knobends is unbelievable. Just look at them. I really fear for where this is going. But if this is the level of IQ that these people have, my God, this world is in trouble. That is all I'm going to say. Well, that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. But just remember that this post, which I'm going to link in the description below, has outlined how many illiterate, uneducated, dumb, thick as shit people there actually are on Twitter. And I know there's a whole bunch of them. But these people coming on here, trying to act all intellectual, have actually outlined, just by responding with the way they did, that they can't even read basic English. And for those people that English isn't their first language and somehow managed to get a console, sales Xbox versus PC out of this, please explain to me how you came to that definition. And for those that didn't, and that actually do have English as your first language, where did the education system fail you, man? Where? Because clearly it's bad. When you can't read basic English, it's bad. When you can't do basic maths, it's bad. When you can't do basic economics, it's bad. I mean, it didn't take me long to figure out how many units was basically equivalent to how much money Microsoft was selling. Guardians of the Galaxy, 50 million is what they paid. $60 is the box price. Hey, guess what? If you do 50 million divided by 60, you get your unit number. It's mind-blowing. Yesterday, to someone, I actually had to teach them basic subtraction maths. I said, if you put 3 bottles on the wall and you knock one down, what does that leave you? That leaves you with the gross profit of Game Pass. And I said, if you have 4 bottles on the wall and you knock one down, each one of those bottles, by the way, signifying $1 billion. And we know that the upkeep per year of Game Pass is 1 billion. And you knock one of them down, what is the gross profit? I mean, we're not talking net here, we're talking gross profit. It's 3 billion. So we know that the overall cost, and I said gross profit just for the sake of it, but we know that the overall cost to maintain Game Pass per year, that's buying the games, server maintenance, the works, is $1 billion. That means anything over that is profit, which should fall into net. But as I don't know if there's any additional features, I want to make sure I cover my back. But it should be net. So if we have 3 minus 1, that makes 2 billion profit. If we have 4 billion minus 1, it equals 3 billion profit. That's a lot of money as profit from a service that people say is crap, is unprofitable, is not going anywhere. And yet I had to teach someone how to do basic subtraction maths yesterday because they were that dumb. And this is a grown man that was trying to tell me that, 4 minus 1 means that you're making a loss. I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comment section below. That's my video over. You know what? Let me just click on this. There you go. There you go. I told you. I told you. They are really going for it. They are really going for it. Look at them. Jeez Louise. Us PC users link abusing our machines, run anything on them and crash it. Jesus. Jesus. Anyway, that's the video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.